Live. We are live, super live. We're so live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? A little different look today, huh? A little bit different today. Pretty awesome. You gotta love it. A little different layout. So, interestingly enough, young Danny Palm got a half day. Ryan released him from his cage early and said, "Hey, young Danny Palm, you go ahead and take a half day because you've earned it." So Danny Palm pieced out. So now I get to run this thing on my own. Camera's up here, screen's here for me to monitor some stuff. So if you guys see me looking over this way, I'm just trying to keep track of stuff. It's a little easier for me that way. But Ryan also, as you guys may or may not know, Ryan owns 247 Roofing Solutions. And the Pittsburgh Home Show is happening right now down at David L. Lawrence Convention Center. And 247 Roofing has a booth there. And our incredible ring card girl, Angel, who just celebrated a birthday, actually, she helps out with 247 Roofing as well. She's a clutch player on their team. She's does a lot at home show kind of type situations, booth situations in general. Such a super engaging personality, great at getting leads for the business and things like that, and just promoting the brand. She was there, the home show, and got super sick. So obviously, hoping Angel feels better soon. From what I understand, it was pretty serious, and she had to just go like immediately. So Ryan left to go fill in for her at the home show. So all that is to say, been a bit of a scramble at the old office today. So Ryan pieced out. He was going to be on the podcast, but he had to piece out. Danny pieced out. Now Jimothy's in the other room working on some matches, finalizing this BitB21 card and Sprawl 3 card. So he's working hard. Leaves just me. So I'm here. I'm trying to run the mics, run the camera. We're going to try to keep an eye out for comments and everything. And on top of that, we got some special guests coming your way on this episode. So that's going to be super fun. So if you guys see me looking around, bopping around, moving around, I'm trying to, it's tough. Actually doing it all by yourself is pretty crazy. So I know some other podcasts like Ish, for instance, with the Relentless Project podcast, he does it all himself, which as of now, I don't think he does like camera switching and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's tough, man. Doing it all yourself, setting it up yourself, gonna go like usually I'm super spoiled, right? So usually I'll walk in, Danny Palm will have the studio all set up for me. I basically just need to sit down and talk into a microphone. That's it. That's all I need to worry about. So this gives perspective for when nobody else is there to help you. Can you help yourself? So far, I'm doing all right. So far, I can help myself. So that's good. At least we've conquered the technology. We've got a few more hurdles when we get these callers in here to announce this fight. So that is the purpose. It is past 2 officially now, I guess. So that's awesome. The podcast has officially started. So deal is, ladies and gentlemen, there is a title fight happening on April 20th at the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows for Brawl in the Burgh 21. And that title fight is Ethan Goss versus Brady Huang. Now, you guys already know that one. You already know that one. Sorry. I know you guys know that one. So sorry about that. That was a joke. See, they're saying I'm not on 247 Live. So already we've got issues, guys. This is me being awful at my job. Much to the surprise of everybody on earth, I'm terrible. Let me fix this real quick. Hang with me. Hang tight. This is going to be, we are so live. We're good to go. All right. That should take care of that. There's a lot of things to click, man. Danny Palm got a job, especially when you're going to 800 destinations at once. It's freaking ridiculous. So thank you, Jared Billy, for telling me that we weren't live on 247 Live, because otherwise I don't think I would have known. So that was awesome. Thank you. Should be good now if you refresh. There is a title fight for real, a second title fight. Brady Huang versus Ethan Goss. Obviously, the featherweight, 247 featherweight and lightweight king, Ethan Goss, is back April 20th to fight Brady Huang, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw the post, saw the announcement. I hope you did. You probably did. It kind of blew up a little bit. Brady Huang is 13-4, insanely dangerous guy. 12 finishes in his 13 wins. So this guy does not like judges, does not like going to the scorecards, and was on Dana White's Contender Series. So he is on the radar of the UFC. He is a top-level talent from California. He's coming to take Ethan's belt. Now, Ethan, meanwhile, you guys know Ethan well, obviously, as the champ 247 on a 6-fight winning streak. The only blemish in his recent run, you could almost say a 7-fight/match winning streak, but he did lose at Sprawl in the Burgh in that run to the man, Sage Stupinski, which everybody knows Daniel Stupinski is an absolute animal. Losing to him in grappling is something that a lot of people have done. It happens a lot when you face him, you lose. But in Ethan's defense, that is a contested decision among some people if you talk to them. I personally can see it either way. I thought it was super close. If the referee decided that Ethan won, I would have said, yeah, that makes sense. The referee decided Sage won, I say, yeah, that makes sense too. I don't feel like either guy really clearly super won. So yeah, when that happens, decision can go either way. That's how it works. So we are going to announce a second title fight though for April 20th. BitB21. So I've been struggling. I've been getting that so confused because April 20th and BitB21, like that 20 to 21 and coming off BitB20, obviously, like it's just all in my head. It's all swirling around. But it is BitB21, Brawl in the Burgh 21, the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows on April 20th, Saturday. We are going to announce that fight. I am going to send a link to get somebody in here to announce that fight for us. So as soon as he joins in, we're going to get him in and you're going to know about a title fight. And I will say, if you guys saw the promo for the podcast, there were 2 silhouettes on that. The silhouettes are actually the people who are fighting. Like that was them. That wasn't me just picking like random fighter silhouette stock image or anything. That was them. So we're going to get them both in here and see what happens. Not at the same time. They'll get to see each other at the same time soon enough inside that cage. But for now, we're going to keep them separated. But you will get to hear from both of them. And one of them I have never talked to in my life. I've texted a little bit here and there, obviously, like setting the fight up. But it's a totally new and exciting fighter for the region, for us, for 247, for you guys to see. So we're going to see how that goes. Sorry about that drink sound. That was pretty aggressive. Didn't really mean that. It was real loud in my headphones. But yeah, we're gonna get a guy in here. He says he's hopping on now. So as soon as he's here, you're gonna know one half of the title fight right away, which is pretty exciting. So he's coming in, and we're gonna break the news of this title fight. Jared Billy says it's got to be DeRusi. Is it Evan DeRusi about to join the stream? I don't know. Could be. Could not be. But it could be. But it could not be. Dude, Danny Palm. Shout out Danny Palm holding this down. This is a lot to keep track of, dude. I'm struggling over here. We got 800 different places this thing's streaming. Trying to add a guy to the stream. Oh, he's here. Oh, he's here. We're adding him in. Let's go. Let's get this. What's up, dude?
What's up, Hunter? How's it going?
Good, man. How's everything going your way, Mr. Spring Break?
It's good. There is no breaks going on here, though. I just got done training.
Nice. Where are you training out that way with Algeo?
Yeah, Bill Algeo up at his gym in King of Prussia. I live right down the street from it, so just came back. It was a good session. Got like 10 rounds in, so
beautiful, dude. So for people who maybe are just listening to the stream, the person who just joined the stream was none other than Las Vegas James Lido, who you guys know from the 247 cage and his flawless 3-0 record. And on top of that, the fight of the year, James Lido, dude. Congratulations on winning that. First of all, I know I got to see you at the pit meet, man, but how was that whole process for you, knowing that you were named by the fans, by us, by anybody who saw the fight? We thought you had the best fight of the year. What was that like for you?
It was a great award to receive, but I mean, I know I received the award because it was a back and forth war and I got hit a lot, but I don't plan on getting hit that much in this one. So I think this one's going to be performance of the year for sure.
Dude, I love it, man. I'm crazy excited about this matchup. I'll tell you, like everybody at 247, everybody who knows the fight is just like insanely excited for this one. So go ahead and tell the people, man. I'm going to let you break the news. Tell the people who you're fighting on April 20th at Brawl in the Burgh 21.
Yeah, me versus Austin Littlejohn for the 185-pound strap. I'm excited. First title fight ever, and first of many, but I'm excited.
I like the sounds of that, man. Austin Littlejohn. So we're going to get Austin on here a little after. We're not going to keep you too long, James, but after you hop off, we'll get Austin on here too to talk about it a little bit. But for people who don't know, Austin is in my eyes, he's listed at 3-0 with 1 no contest, but the no contest is out there to watch, and he was dominating that fight. He's really 4-0 in my book. Dangerous, dangerous guy from North Carolina, all finishes. What do you know about him, James? Have you been researching him, or do you just kind of trust your skills and your training and say, I'm ready for whatever this guy's got?
Yeah, I trust my skills. I mean, I know he's got some videos on YouTube, and I watched the ones he does have on YouTube all once, and I'm very confident in my skills going into this. I don't need to watch a whole ton of film.
Yeah. Anybody who's seen you in the cage, man, we kind of know what you're about. I got to shout out your last post-fight interview. I think it was one of the best lines of all time. I said I wasn't going to wrestle. I lied.
Yeah.
Did you have that planned, or did that just come to you right then?
It just came to me. I don't know. I mean, a lot of wrestlers think they're just gonna go in and strike, but when it's there, it's there. It's instinct. It's years and years of being that close. You just go for it.
So did you legitimately plan not to wrestle? Like, did you intend to not wrestle, and then you were like, screw it, I'm wrestling this dude?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Another big change for you, man. Being at Southside Boxing now a lot, working with Layshock a lot. What has that been like for you in your game?
It's been great. He's a great coach. The only time we can really train together one-on-one is 5 a.m. But it's been so beneficial to me getting in there, and he's definitely been getting me ready and improving my skills every single day. So I'm very grateful for him and having him around.
That's huge, man. We have plans. Anthony Brandy, Pittsburgh Flyover, our video guy. We're gonna come check this out. One of these 5 a.m.s coming up. Is it just out of necessity to be there at 5 a.m., or have you always been like an early riser, get after it real early kind of guy?
The first 2 weeks were pretty rough, but I'm used to it now. It was definitely. Yeah. I mean, I get up early, but not that early. So.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be a different breed to be working out by 5 a.m. Like, that's the crazy thing. How far is the drive for you? It's close to Oakland, I guess, when you're on campus. But what time do you actually have to wake up?
Well, I do some stuff in the morning before I get there, so I wake up around 4:15. But I'm right up the street from it. I live in Southside now, so
okay,
it's like a 2-minute drive down the road.
I didn't realize that. Okay, that's not bad. At least you're right there. That helps. And then once you're in that environment, man, I'm sure Layshock's got the intensity going already. He kind of wakes you up quickly, right?
Yeah, he's ready to go 5 a.m. every single day. So,
dude, he's such a Pittsburgh legend and a legend of the Pittsburgh combat sports scene. What's it been like just getting to know him as a person and like his influence on the city's combat sports scene as a whole? Because his history runs deep, man.
Yeah. Well, one thing I noticed immediately is he's extremely passionate about coaching, and he doesn't ask for a whole lot in return, just for you to show up with good effort and to listen to him. And I don't have a problem with doing that. I know he knows what he's talking about, and he's been super helpful right off the bat. And I think we clicked immediately, just because, I mean, all he really wants is for us to work hard and just listen to the stuff he says. And I mean, I trust in his words, so I apply them to my skill set whenever he's helping me out and coaching me. So
that's awesome, man. It's a really cool transition for you, a cool place to be. And I'm personally enjoying seeing Southside Boxing with kind of a more developed MMA program, getting some more fighters out there. Like, we're no spoilers since it hasn't been announced yet, but one of your Southside teammates is going to be on the card with you too. I'm really excited about that, man. It's cool to have the gym and Layshock involved again, because he's genuinely, like, for people who know, he's a super vital piece of the Pittsburgh combat sports scene puzzle. So it's awesome to see him kind of reemerging in a big way. And I mean, we do the awards every year, new gym of the year, Southside Boxing. Even though they're not a new gym, they're new to 247. And so they're going to qualify. That you guys are going to be a strong contender, I think, for new gym of the year.
Yeah, I think especially after these performances in April, that we're definitely going to be in the running for sure.
Yeah, man. So obviously you've got the title fight, like you said, against Austin Littlejohn, and I know you don't look too far ahead. But what do you see for the remainder of the year? Is there a schedule that you're looking to do a certain amount of times you're trying to fight this year? What's James Lito thinking for 2024?
Uh, well, I am going to be wrestling at Lockhaven in the fall. So once I'm wrestling again, I'm kind of out of fight mode, wrestle mode, and so yeah, I want to get 3 definitely before the end of July. I'd say. I mean, I'd love to do more with 24/7. I don't know what the future schedule is, but definitely get 3 before the end of July, and then probably lock in with wrestling for the whole rest of the next season. But that those are my plans.
Love it. So we definitely got you in April, obviously, and then we do have June 29th as well at the Meadows Casino. So maybe you can run it back to back at the casino shows.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
There's a plan at one point for you to go down to 170. And what was your fight with Burrs at 170?
No, I was at 185.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was or not.
I
Is
didn't
that
I didn't know we were going to talk about that, but I mean, since you brought it up, yeah. I mean, I walk around at 185, 190 at the heaviest, really, and I mean, I don't cut a whole lot of weight. I don't really want to cut a lot of weight right now, but I mean, for an opportunity like that, I would make it happen at 170 to go down and get both belts. I'd love to do that. I mean, that excites me, and going there and putting on a great performance and just being myself out there on April 20th and having that opportunity back to back. I would love to do that. That would be great.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And Jared Billy just asked a question for you, James. He said, "What year is he in college? Because to be competing in MMA and still have a collegiate wrestling career going, that's some dedication right there." So, you want to clear up your college career for him?
Yeah. So this is the end of my 4th year at Pitt. And with the COVID year, I have 2 years left of eligibility at Lockhaven that I'm going to use since I redshirted this past year.
Perfect. Yeah, man, it's been a wild ride for you, brother, and you've been killing it every step of the way. It's been an honor to work with you in the cage for sure. Everybody who's seen a James Lito fight, I'll let you know personally. My dad asks me all the time. He's like, "When's that Lito kid gonna fight again for you guys?" He loves your style, man. Loves the way you get after it. So you're a fan favorite for sure. And I think April 20th with this matchup, people are going to remember really quickly why that is, because win, lose, or draw, this matchup has all the makings of an absolute banger.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's definitely going to be one of the best fights on the card end of the year.
Absolutely, man. We're stoked to have you back, brother. I'm not going to keep you from your spring break any longer. Go enjoy yourself while you can. Rest up, man, and we'll see you in April.
All right. Thanks, Hunter. Have a good one.
For sure, brother. Take care. All right, guys. That was James Las Vegas Lito right there. You guys, if you haven't seen his fights yet, if you're watching that and you haven't seen his 3 fights for us, you need to go on 247 Live right now. It's really not a shameless plug. You honestly need to see him. Like I said, it was the fight of the year last year. That's where you need to start. Lito versus Ken Burrs was such an insane fight. One of, if not the best fight in 247 history, not just of last year, but maybe of ever. James Lito and Ken Burrs just absolutely brought the heat from start to finish. It was such a wild fight. There's such 2 crazy talented guys. To have it at that novice amateur level is like a true blessing, a true honor, honestly, to have that fight happen that early in their careers, to see them develop from there. It's going to be insane. So definitely, if you haven't seen Lito fight, you guys got to do that. You got to make that happen for sure. And just check that fight out, but then check his other fights out too. He was super dominant in the other 2. The Burrs fight, obviously, to be a fight of the year, had to be a little back and forth. And like he said, Burrs definitely clipped him a few times. Burrs had his moments, dropped him, had some really strong moments, but Lito's wrestling and aggression and power is just pretty special too. So we're gonna see in April if it's enough to take out Austin Littlejohn or not, because Littlejohn, man, I'm telling you, this guy looks like a savage. If you haven't seen him fight, he's super tall. First of all, he's from North Carolina. We're going to get him on here in a second. I'm sending him a link to sign in right now. So let me see if I can talk and send a text at the same time. Nope. Like, Didn't even try, just started typing and my brain shut down. Like, no, dude, you're not talking right now. You need to type. All right. So we're going to get Austin in here to talk about the fight as well. I'm excited to talk to him, man. I've never talked to him spoken. I've texted, we've sent some messages back and forth and things like that, obviously, but I've never spoken to him. So I'm really interested. And his team, his coach has been, oddly enough, the way this bout came together is pretty crazy. We were doing a podcast just like this live on Instagram, and his coach was in the live stream saying, "Do you guys need any 185s for April? I have a 185." Or he actually said, "Do you need any fighters for April?" And then when the stream ended, I messaged him kind of what we were looking for. And at the time, we knew we wanted to get Lito back. We knew he was available. We're trying to match James Lito pretty hard. And I said, "We actually do need an amateur 185 for a title fight." And he was like, "You're not going to believe this, but that's exactly what I have." So it worked out so perfectly. Like, what are the odds that he would have a stud, undefeated, title worthy amateur middleweight to match up perfectly with James Lito? And Layshock and Lito, I don't even think they thought twice about it, man. I don't even think they considered the match. They said yes instantly. Little John said yes instantly. It was awesome, man. You got to love it. A lot of fighters say, we hear it from a lot of fighters that they'll fight anywhere, anytime. Anybody, anytime, just tell me who it is, I'm signing. We hear that more than we actually see that. And I get it. Trust me, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. You should absolutely look into your opponent. If it's a really bad matchup for you and it's going to hurt your career, I'm not saying you should take it. All I'm saying is there are fighters who are about that and will fight anybody, anytime. And that seems to be what we got here. Lito's never turned down a fight for us. Little John did not shake at the opportunity at all. He sees it as a huge chance to win a really pretty golden belt. And our belts are pretty. I should have one here in the studio. I really should. Dang, you can go grab a belt. Dude, when you're running a show solo, this is so much different. I feel like I'm like at an open mic or something right now, and I need to keep people entertained and engaged for this long. So while we wait on Little John, he's got the link, which is awesome. So hopefully he'll be logging in here any second. He said he was good to go, so I expect him to hop in here soon. But we got James Lito versus Austin Littlejohn title fight, 185. We have a pro fight yet to be announced. Super fun breaking news for you guys. Nobody else, you didn't even know that until now. There's a pro fight yet to be announced. There is Ethan Goss versus Brady Huang, pro featherweight title fight. Let's go. I mean, how good is that? The champ's back to defend his featherweight title against a 13-4 contender series vet who finishes what's 12 divided by 13? 94% of his fights. I don't know. 90-some% of his fights. Crazy. Kama Worthy unretires and comes back to fight Jimmy Sandlin. This bare knuckle boxing, savage, great wrestling, great striking, dangerous literally everywhere a fight goes. And Kama says, "Yeah, give me that guy. Give me that guy for my return." Because why wouldn't Kama do that? Another savage. And then everybody's favorite, Justin the General Patton, is back. The General is back. And you guys know what the General's about inside the cage. And he's fighting Martin Justice from Freedom Fighters in Florida. So we've got Martin flying up from Florida, crazy dangerous guy. Once again, if you are not familiar with his game, highly recommend looking up footage. It's actually just a good exercise in general to look up footage of maybe the out-of-town fighters you've never seen, just to set that narrative and like set an expectation of what could happen, because it honestly, it makes the fight itself that much more tense. If you know going in, and I'm not saying he does or does not, but let's pretend Martin Justice has like a really nasty back control and finishes everybody with rear naked chokes, which is not the case, but let's just pretend that that's the case. And he might, I don't know, he probably does have nasty back control, but let's say that's the case. Fight happens, and now you know this going in, and he gets Patton's back real quick, and then Patton escapes. You know how significant that is now. Whereas before, you could just say, "Oh, that was a normal grappling exchange." Like, no, that's what he does really well. It's like if you would escape Ronda Rousey's armbar. It's not your average armbar. Like, she was doing that to everybody, and if you could escape it, that's insane. Like, how did you possibly do that? So watch the footage to get a feel for these guys, and like it helps build that narrative, makes the fights a lot more exciting when you know. So I would recommend that. And a lot of footage nowadays is on YouTube, or for us, obviously, it's on 247 Live. Everything is. So there's really no excuse for somebody who's fought for us for you not to have watched their last fight, which, by the way, Kama's last fight, also worth watching. We've got James Leto, the 2023 fight of the year against Ken Burrs. Kama won the first ever 247 Awards Fight of the Year for his fight against Josh Roller at BitB21, which ended up also being his retirement fight at the time at the Meadows. So same venue. He's coming back 7 events later, Brawl in the Burgh 14 to Brawl in the Burgh 21. Coming back, unretiring, coming back. I mean, Kama and Patton are two of not just the best fighters, that goes without saying, two of the best fighters in Pittsburgh's history, but two of the most popular fighters in Pittsburgh history, which are, those are different conversations. But when you talk about the crowds that these guys bring, you realize very quickly that Brawl in the Burgh 21 is going to be super special. When you combine those two at the top, plus Ethan, plus a Alito title fight, plus some other goodies that are soon to come your way that I'm really excited to talk about. Yeah. You guys are in. You guys are in for a treat, man, on April 20th inside the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows Event Center. I cannot wait for that one. So it's huge. I'm real stoked about it. And we just can't wait for that event. The day before, Sprawl in the Burgh 3, it's been flying under the radar a little more, but that's about to change. We've got some absolute heat coming your ways. Trust me, we've been working extremely hard to match Sprawl in the Burgh 3 to put together a submission-only grappling event that you guys will be super excited about. And we got some things cooking that I think are definitely going to accomplish that. So we did announce some absolute banger matchups. I believe that was yesterday that announcement came out. So we did kind of oil the wheels a little bit, get the train rolling a little bit, but it's only going to keep picking up speed, man. You guys know how those events are. Like, Sprawl in the Burgh's so fun. I personally love the submission-only grappling series so much to get so many different teams involved. There's a lot of really good gyms, really good coaches, really good athletes. But if you don't fight MMA and you train jiu-jitsu and grappling's your thing, the options are pretty limited in terms of like a full-scale production event, and not an event that is, and there's nothing wrong with events like this. They're awesome and they're very necessary, and I also love them. But I'm just saying, it's not like we threw some mats down on a gymnasium floor and had an event. Like, that's great, and I understand the necessity of that and the cost of that and everything. But in terms of a full scale production that feels like an event, there are not many options for grapplers out there, man. The scene is growing big time for sure. The grappling is blowing up, but it's still not at that level quite yet. So to be able to play even a small part in getting these grapplers' names out there, getting the gyms out there more. Like, when you go to a Sprawl in the Burgh event, you're going to see 8 to 10 Mat Factory guys, 8 to 10 Stout guys. You're going to see Jim's True Believer is going to be all over that. And these are True Believer is a gym that at this time doesn't have MMA fight. Like, you're not going to see True Believer on a Brawl in the Burgh card yet. But that could change, and that would be real cool if that did change. What's up, Sour Patch MMA in the IG chat? What's up? Speaking of the Mat Factory, there's one right there. We got a Mat Factory representative in the chat. I'm sure she's super hyped about Sprawl in the Burgh 3 and a lot of her teammates and Mat Factory. Let's get some of the Mat Factory girls on that card too. We just might. The scene is great. I mean, the scene right now is just so primed. And I forget where I was going with that thought, but it is cool to be able to involve more gyms for sure. I think there's a lot of athletes in this area. I mean, everybody knows what grappling wrestling is in this area, and it's huge and it's vital. So to be able to give them a platform to really put on a show in a dedicated event like that, it's really cool, man. It's genuinely an honor, and I think we've seen with the first two Sprawls in the Burgh what the scene is, what the hunger for that is. It was really impressive. I mean, we talk about it as a team internally, But the first Brawl in the Burgh event with PJ versus Dante Leone at the top. And then not only doing that, but Isaac versus Gray Maynard right under it. All the matches we had on that card, but specifically the Dante versus PJ match, because it was 2 top 10 guys in the world in their weight class. We just came out. It was as if you matched like, man, I barely watch the UFC anymore, so the example is going to be terrible. 2 top 10 UFC lightweights matched up. I'll just say that. I'm not going to say names to get it wrong. Somebody be like, oh, he's ranked 14th, or he hasn't been ranked in a year. He might not. I don't know anymore. But 2 top 10 ranked UFC lightweights. It was as if like we cherry picked that matchup, and then they both said yes magically, and they both showed up magically, and they both put on an incredible match magically. Like, it was crazy. It was kind of surreal that happened in our cage for the first one out. It was really cool. But what we talk about that like inspires us to keep moving forward with Sprawl, and what really gave us like some momentum and confidence to be like, I think there's something here, was like the feedback. You guys can listen to it yourself. Obviously, we talk off camera, off air as well with Dante, but Dante in his post-fight speech kind of said it. He was like, I've wanted a grappling super fights event like this forever. Like, it's so cool that you guys got this many people out here and you put on a real show. You know, the lights, the sound, the DJ, the production, the walkouts, like fighter intros, all that. Like, we just basically ripped what we do for MMA and brought it into a submission grappling format. And Dante like super appreciated it, man. I mean, the things he said were just outlandishly nice. Like, it was crazy, and he did not have to do that. And that was really cool of him. And we're forever thankful for him saying those things, because that having a guy like that vouch for you right off the bat, it's hard to understate how valuable that is. If somebody like Dante Leone is telling people, somebody how well connected he is in the grappling world, if he's talking to people and it pops up and he has nice things to say about us, man, it goes a long way. That goes way a long way. Like, stuff like that is super invaluable. So yeah, man, that was really cool of him. And then PJ kind of echoed the same thing. He was telling us, you know, like, fight to win San Diego is like the other thing. Like, you're not far off. And it was our first try. So that was super encouraging. And Spronenberg too, of course, kind of same deal. Maybe in all honesty, we tried some things at that one where we tweaked the formula a little, and there was a lot really good about that one. There was a lot really fun about that one, but there was a lot worse about that one too, in full candor. We missed the mark with some things that we tried, but we're going to keep trying. Like, we're not going to sit back and not alter the formula and just say, oh, wow, we're good enough, let's just do that again. No, we're going to keep trying. So Sprawlenberg 3, we got a different card up our sleeves that I am, oh, dude, I'm so excited about it. I want to just tell you guys, but you'll see. And honestly, it's not like Gray Maynard versus Isaac Greeley. It's not that, but we're working on something else that will set it apart from the other two. And then we're going to see, you know, how do people respond to this? And then as we keep tweaking that formula, we're going to find the exact right blend of herbs and spices that makes people go nuts. And then we're going to have something even more special. So that's awesome. It's a fun process. I want to see Greeley Gray Maynard rematch at 10 minutes. Yeah, dude. That's a fun comment. That's something we talk about a lot. I was actually just talking about it with somebody yesterday. We were just reminiscing on that match. And yeah, dude, Isaac was coming on pretty strong towards the end there. It seemed like he was finding his groove. Kind of Gray started out so strong, man. What a freaking physical specimen Gray Maynard is. Holy crap. His age, with the wear on his tires and everything, to come out looking and performing like that, it really does contextualize how elite like we were saying, like a top 10 UFC guy, which he was his entire career. How elite of an athlete you are when you're at that level. Because it's easy to, like, people do this all the time. They do it with Anderson Silva. They do it with Gray Maynard. Oh, you're washed up. You suck now. You lost a few in a row. You suck. Your whole career sucks because you suck. And it's like, dude, do you know who you're talking about? People do in every sport. It's not even just combat sports. Like, look at the Penguins right now with like Malkin and Letang just absolutely crap in the bed. And people are like, oh, they suck. Dude, they are the 1% of the 1%. They do not suck. Like, stop. Do they suck compared to the 25-year-old version of themselves? Yeah, probably. Most athletes suck compared to the 25-year-old version of themselves when they're 40. That's how it works. But to see Gray come out and do that just reinforced, like, man, we're talking about a different level of athlete and a different breed of human being in general, to be honest, too. Not only like he could retire and just coast off into the distance and enjoy himself. After all he's been through, after all he's put his body through, man, he could easily just pack it up and be like, yeah, I'm going to chill now. But looks like that dude's been in the weight room since he retired from MMA and obviously has continued wrestling and grappling because he was super polished, super ready, just the ultimate gamer, exactly what we expected. Got Dakota Dollar in the chat too. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Got to sing some karaoke, man. I posted a video recently on my Instagram playing some Alice in Chains on acoustic, and he messaged me and was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but I actually sing." Then he sent me a clip of himself singing, and he's pretty damn good, man. I was super impressed. You don't expect that guy to be able to sing, but we do have, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the special guest waiting. I'm going to tag you in, bro. Let's get it. Let's get Austin Littlejohn on the stream. What's up, dude?
What's up, my boy? How you doing?
Good, brother. How's everything going your way?
It's going good, man. It's a pretty nice day. Pollen is ridiculous, so that's just not cool. Uh, but yeah, everything's going good though. You know what I mean?
Nice, man. You got allergies?
Hell yeah, bro. Like I've had allergies like all my life, and really it's only like seasonal. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So um, usually around the springtime. You know what I mean? And I would say mainly the months would be like March and April when the pollen count is like mad high and the bees and all that pollination and shit like that be going on. Uh, that's when my allergies start to pick up. And it
Yeah.
used to be worse when I was younger, but it's gotten a little bit better as I've gotten older. But it's usually like the same old stuff, with, like itchy eyes and nose
Yep.
and shit like that. So
I Dude, it's funny you say that because I never had seasonal allergies until the last probably 3 or 4 years in a row. I've had it every year. And it's like, what's going on with the world right now? Is there a different kind of pollen going around? Like, what happened?
bro, like shit is changing, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like ever since that damn, COVID or whatever, and
Telling you.
I just feel like, bro, like the world's changing. You know what I'm saying?
For
Not for
sure,
the
dude.
better. You know what I'm saying?
Not yet. Not yet. I think we can still get back on track though. It's not all lost yet.
Yeah,
Did you grow up in North Carolina? You always live in North Carolina?
no, I'm originally from Virginia,
Hmm.
more specifically Virginia Beach. You know what I mean? Virginia
Right
Beach
on.
area. So, yeah, my mom and I and my little brother, we moved down here back in like 2010. She's a school social worker, so she had kind of found like a better offer for a job coming down here, and yeah, I graduated back in 2012, and then tried out college for a little bit, but that wasn't really my thing. So
Mhm.
I ended up going into the service and did 6 years in the Marine Corps, and then I got out of there because I'm not a political guy, So yeah, it's a lot of shit that the government be doing, but yeah, no, not always lived in North Carolina though. You know what I mean? Like Virginia, I say is my home.
Okay, right on, man. Well, first off, thanks for your service, man. I didn't even know that about your background. That's awesome, though.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, yeah, of course, man. That's super honorable. I appreciate the honesty too. It's just saying college wasn't for you, man. So many people feel that, and that's something I need more people to hear. That like you don't have to go to college because our generation, we're close. You're 29, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm 33. I'm a little bit older, but still roughly the same generation. Like we heard growing
Hmm.
up you have to go to college basically, right? Like it's
Right.
mandatory now. If you don't go to college, you're a loser. But like that's so not the case. And I hope more young people hear that and know like just find something that you're good at, that you love, that you can positively impact the world with and follow that, man. Just be happy.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'm a big advocate of that, and like you said, with our generation, like, so I got a younger brother, and he went to college. He got his degree, and he was so boastful about his degree and like, how he finished in 3 years and not 4 years and whatever. But I told him, I was like, look, bro, like that's all cool and dandy and whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of these companies and shit like that out here, like they are they are more so looking for people with experience, you know what I'm saying? And not to take away from anybody who goes to college, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is cool to have a degree, but as you stated earlier, like you can make it out here without a degree. And as we stated before, the world is changing so much, you know what I mean? Like there's so much that you can do. As a matter of fact, my mom and I, we was talking about this last night. She had asked me, was I a dreamer? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, I definitely consider myself a dreamer. I'm pretty much living one out right now. And that's what I would say to the youth. And I think that's something that our generation has encompassed most of is the dreaming aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear so many stories of these individuals who, started out with nothing and, you know, hard work, persistence, and consistency for real. You know what I'm saying? Persistency and consistency, and over time, they're out here blowing up, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's, TikTok or, whatever the case may be, martial arts, you know what I'm saying? Sports, like regardless, like dream, bro, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are not living out their dreams. And to me, that's like spiritual suicide. You feel me? So, um, yeah, bro, I rather chase my dream and if I come up short, then I come up short. But at least when I get old and crusty, then I can tell my story of like, yo, I tried. And I feel as though that I tried goes a lot farther than what if. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yep. You got me hyped up like I'm listening to David Goggins right now, dude. Let's go. I'm like ready to do something with my life now.
yeah.
That's good stuff, man. Did you see Dave Chappelle's last special called Dreamer?
I didn't, bro. Like I haven't watched like any like comedy shit like that for a minute, but was this
Mm,
kind of like along the lines of that?
it
I
is,
know that
yeah. That's what I
Dave
was asking.
Chappelle, like a
Yeah,
pretty
that's kind of
straightforward
the.
guy.
Yeah, obviously he's hilarious and it's funny, but I mean he weaves like exactly the things you were just talking about. He weaves a lot of that mentality in and out of it. So it was good, man. If
Yeah,
you like it at all, check it out.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. What's where does combat sports come into your background? You dropped a lot on me there I wasn't expecting. Your background's super interesting, man. So at what point does combat sports come into the mix?
So I would definitely say like combat sports has continuously been in my life, and it started out at a very young age. I'm gonna say like elementary school. My dad, he was very big into Western movies with Clint Eastwood and Gunsmoke and all that type of shit. And
Yeah, let's go.
he was real big into westerns and kung fu movies. That was his deal. Like anytime we went over to the house and we was chilling, it was either kung fu movies or westerns that was on, and more so kung fu movies because he was all about. I think that he was all about like the Chinese tradition, and
Hmm.
how they are all about honor and protecting yourself at all times. And martial arts, although yes, it is a combative skill, it's more so of a disciplinary aspect and the self-expression of who you are. So we started out in karate. I did that for probably like a couple months, bro. Honestly, because at that point in time, I was like, man, bump this. Like I'm trying to go play like regular sports with the homies and whatnot.
Hmm. Hmm.
But growing up, that was, our, at least from my dad's side, like our disciplinary actions were, doing horse stance and working on your blocks and doing your combos and stuff like that. So I would say that was the foundation of my martial arts background. And as I got older and I got more of a mature mind, and I held on to um, his teachings and I would say his ideals. You know what I'm saying? When I got into the military, was definitely when that sparked.
Hmm.
That ignited. I would even say. I started boxing back in 2017, and what got me into boxing was before the military. And I ain't braggadocious as far as like, I was out here in the streets ripping and running, just knocking blocks off or whatever. But I've had my fair share of like, little brawls and stuff like that with the homies. So I knew that I could fight, but I wanted to actually learn the essence of fighting because it's an art, right? I started watching more. Um, I think the first fight that I saw, like live fight that I saw, was Canelo and Mayweather. Is the first fight that they went at, and I was watching how they was moving, and I was watching how he was striking, and I was listening to the commentators, and they was just talking about the art form. And then I started thinking back to the martial arts movies that I've seen, and how really, bro, like it's a dance. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's a violent but beautiful dance between two combatants. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like I said, also being in the Marine Corps, that kicked off that spirit of like, okay, I can do this. Like I know I can do this. I played sports all growing up, so I'm athletic and acrobatic, So once I got into boxing and I saw the essence of how to properly throw a punch, keep your chin down, turning your shoulders, turning your wrist over, footwork, legs, hips, all of that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? I fell in love with it, bro. Like I was like, yeah, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I can definitely do this. And then and kind of just sparked on or trailblazed from there. I would say I did a couple smokers, and then I started watching mixed martial arts. And then once I saw mixed martial arts, I was like, shit, I throw leg kicks. I could throw a leg kick. You know what I'm saying? I could throw a knee. I could throw some elbows. You know what I'm saying? And it was just I think all in all, it was more of ways of expressing myself. When I'm training, when I'm sparring, when I'm fighting, that's when that's when I can become alive. That's when I can, show my stuff, and kind of go into character. How actors, whenever they get ready to go perform and whatnot, they go into character. Now I can go into my character and be how I want to be, and it's awesome, bro. Like it's beautiful. You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
it, man. Well, clearly, like you said, you knew you could fight, and then you fell in love with it. The start to your amateur career definitely reflects that, man. The run you've been on is really impressive. Your last win was huge against another guy that was 4-0, or he was 3 or 4-0 going in, and all
Yeah,
stoppages, and then you stop him. That's a huge win, man. And I saw some people on YouTube. I love internet comments. People always say don't read the internet comments, but I love it because it just cracks
yeah.
me up sometimes. I saw a lot of people saying he was going to smash you. Like I saw the comments. Everybody thought he was going to run through you, but didn't happen, man. So what were you feeling going into that fight, and how was that fight for you, that moment?
Well, it was definitely a challenge, because that was our it's a title match, so definitely some pressures going in on that. But yeah, we knew the guy, he was 4-0, and that he finished all his guys through rear naked choke, and the thing about this game, the thing about this sport, this lifestyle, is that don't none of that shit really matter
Mhm.
on game day. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody can get caught, and I'm even speaking for me as well. Humbly speaking, like anything can happen in that specific moment. You know what I'm saying? Those previous guys that he went up against, they're not me at the end of the day. I know who I am. My coaches know who I am, and our training that we prepared for that fight. We knew what he was going to want to do. We knew that he was
Mhm.
a Taekwondo guy, and he had a little bit of jiu-jitsu under him. But from seeing his fights, we didn't see much of handwork. So I've been boxing for a minute, and I have supreme confidence in my hands and in my abilities to be moving and evading and striking. So our game plan was simple, and when we went out there, and you stick to your game plan. Once I got comfortable, and then I think it was in the first round, I cracked him one good time. I was like, okay, word, like I see everything that we was talking about, that my coach was talking about, of how he's going to react to that. So now it's just continue to apply pressure, So, and and I love the comments as well too. I haven't read the comments or whatever, but I like when people try to put me on the back burner and think that this, that, and the third is gonna happen. Cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like wait till show night, and
Yep.
it was definitely it was definitely an experience because we went to his hometown and everybody's walking around with his shirts on and shit like that, and you know and the crowd was getting mad hyped for him when he walked out, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? And then as the fight went on, it was kind of like a movie thing because as the fight went on, then people started cheering for me, and I was like, what? So like, yeah, man, it was cool. It was an awesome experience, and
Nice,
shout out to
man.
him as well, because he was a tough dude. So shout out to him as well, and I appreciate the battle.
Yeah, that's cool, man. All that experience goes into it. Now, we're honored to maybe give you another chance at another belt here. We'll see. Maybe
Hmm.
you'll be the double champ by the time you leave the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah.
But what do you know about James Lito? What do you know about the matchup going in? Do you guys do research on your opponent, or do you just kind of sign on the dotted line?
Yeah. We do a little bit. We do research on our opponents. It's funny because my coach had actually told me about this fight previous to my last fight. So I think it's like the week of my last fight. He's like, "Yo, bro, like we got another fight lined up for you. Depending on how this one goes." And I was like, "All right, that's cool. Line them up." Um, so yeah, I don't know much about James. I tried to do like some research and see some of his fights. I wasn't able to, but I just know that he's a wrestler. I think he's a D1 wrestler or something like that. So I expect that he's probably going to be uh, shooting for takedowns, especially by me being a taller guy. He's probably going to be shooting for takedowns, maybe working his combinations into those takedowns. And by him being a shorter individual, he'll probably be looking for that either like a big overhand, either right or left, depending on his stance and whatnot, and shooting for some double legs or single legs. So we got a plan. You know what I mean? We have a game plan for how we're going to approach it.
Nice, man. You mentioned it a little bit, but for people who don't know, obviously you're sitting down right now, but 6'5", 185, man. That's a unique build, very lanky frame.
So what's funny is that so I'm actually 6'4", and I don't know why. I don't know why the funny thing about that is my last fight when when they first put up the card, they put up there 6'1", and I told the promoter I was like, yo, bro, I'm 6'4", 185. He's like, all right, cool. So when they first made the fight poster, it was 6'1", and then the guys at the gym, they was like, what? They got you at 6'1"? Like that motherfucker's gonna be in a shock when he sees you. And I was like, yeah. And then when we actually got there, they they had the fight cards, like posters on in the locker rooms and whatever. And then they put up there at 6'5", and I was like, Jesus, like y'all are all over the place, So, and then as I'm walking out, they announced that it was like 6'5", 185, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, 6'4", 185. But I guess
All right.
inch
All right, let's set the record straight. We'll make sure our ring announcer says 6'4" for you. We got you.
Yes, 6'4". Appreciate it.
Still, the point stands 6'4" or 6'5" at 185. You got a long, lanky build, man. That's a unique build, a unique challenge for people for sure.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
How has that been for you as you develop your skills, like using that range, using your length? Do you specifically tailor things that work better for your body type?
Absolutely, bro. I feel as though that's the best way to. That's the best way to be a martial artist. You got to work with what you got. By me being, thank the Lord that I've been given these gifts of length and whatnot. So I have to be able to utilize them to the best of my abilities. You know what I'm saying? Keeping guys on the end of my punches, and even when I'm going and wrestling and in jiu-jitsu class, learning how to be big, but also learning how to be small as well too.
Yep.
So there's all avenues. There's pros and cons that come with it. And people see me, they be like, oh man, I wish I was tall. I wish I was tall. They're like, yeah, bro. Well, you probably actually wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like once you are tall, growing pains and then just like this regular shit that you got to go through. But it does has its benefits. So that incorporated into my martial arts. Yeah, I definitely try to utilize it as best as possible. My coaches um, constantly stressing on me on being long with my punches, being long with my strikes,
Yep.
regardless. By me being pretty defensive, utilizing my frames and um, utilizing what I have to either draw people in or back them out.
Yep.
So yeah, man.
Makes perfect sense, man. One of our fans just asked what your reach is. Do you know your reach?
I don't, bro. They actually asked me that last time, and I only don't know it because like I never took the time to like measure it or anything like that. But I have no idea. If I had to guess, maybe like, I don't know, what, 80, 83, 84, something like that. I don't know.
That'd be pretty wild reach for sure. That's like John Jones levels.
Yeah.
Ryan, our owner just chimed in and said, "Dude on the left is weak." So I hope for his sake that I'm on his left, because if you're on the left and he's calling you weak, we can settle that. We can settle that when you're here. That's awesome, man. Well, brother, I'm not going to keep you too much longer, man. This chat was awesome, man. I was already super excited about this fight. Like everybody with our organization, everybody who's known about this fight, man, we're ready for this one, bro. We're super excited. But after talking to you, I'm even like 100 times more excited now, man. You're awesome. Yeah. I'm excited to work with you and your team, man.
Thank you, brother. And I appreciate y'all for allowing us to be a part of y'all's program. And I appreciate this podcast and this talk type deal, and yeah, man, I thank y'all. Much blessings. Thank you.
Of course, man. We'll be in touch. We'll get all your paperwork, physical, for our matchmaker. Please get all that stuff done for him. He turns into a nervous Nelly on fight week if guys don't have that stuff done. So stay on top of all that stuff, brother, and then we'll see you in April for a hell of a title fight.
All right, brother. See you then.
All right, man. Enjoy your day.
All right, bro. You too.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Austin Littlejohn. What a great dude, man. How cool was that guy? Had no idea. Like I said, I never actually spoke to him. So that was the first time. And man, he's super impressive. That's awesome. Like I said, I was already excited about that fight, but now I'm like to the moon for that fight. Let's go, dude. James Lito versus Austin Littlejohn, amateur middleweight title, Brawl in the BitB21 on April 20th. Get out of here. Get out of here. Tickets at 247fighting.com. If you guys are watching and you don't want to miss that title fight, snag them now, man. As I said earlier in the show, Ethan, Justin, on the card, another pro on the card that we didn't announce yet. This title fight, a lot of amateurs that are, good ticket sellers on this card. We said it before at BitB16 that if you don't get your tickets, you're going to miss out. And then guess what happened? A whole lot of people missed out, and they were real sad about it, and they missed an incredible night of fights. Don't do that again. The Meadows is a smaller venue. Tickets are very limited. Like, I'll say it again. Patton, Goss, this title fight, Lito sells tickets. Lito's got a big following here. Another pro. If you don't get them now, you're going to miss out. Just don't do it. Josh Visoki in here says James Lito for president. Dude, a Lito Visoki ticket easily would get me to vote. Like, I don't even need to hear about Trump and Biden, dude. Give me Lito Visoki. Let's go. That's what the world needs more of. That's what we need to see. I'm here for it. These boys run. I'm running to the booth to vote for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this one here. I am multitasked out. I will say, I think I'm a decent multitasker in general. My brain can go different directions well, but Danny Palm, you're a savage for running this every week for the podcast and to try to host, like pull guys in to talk to, worry about the banners at the bottom, make sure the camera's good, make sure the audio is good, try to watch for comments. Whew. My brain's a little fried right now, ladies and gentlemen, but thank you for hanging out with me. This was super fun. A little solo hour with Hunter, which, maybe you loved it. Maybe you didn't. If you didn't, you suck. If you did, thank you. You're awesome. Love you too. But thank you guys for joining the show, man. This was an awesome podcast, man. James Lito, Austin Littlejohn, they absolutely brought it. I'm really upset that I forgot to ask Littlejohn how many people make fun of his last name and say that his fighter nickname should be Yeah or what. And I didn't do that. And I meant to do that. Now I'm upset with myself. But he was an awesome guy. What a good dude. And how stoked to have him up here for this title fight. What an honor, man. undefeated versus undefeated, title fight at the Meadows. Let's go. April 20th is going to be insane, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all. See you very soon. Peace out.